Crazy 12 podcast proudly presented by Little Caesars. Code 1099 bundle classic pepperoni or cheese pizza. Crazy bread and 2-liter soda. Code LCFREECC. Free crazy combo with any pizza purchase. All right. Now we are joined by the man, the myth, not the myth, the legend, the constructor of Aris Dental, the designer of the championship package, the great Lan Allen. Hello, Lan.
Hello, Mike.
All right.
Great to be with you.
Yeah, it's awesome. Well, first of all right, Cody, you can take this off the screen now. Thanks. All right. So let's talk a little bit, though, before we get into sports, because you got a lot of stuff going on and everything. You got some ideas. We're going to talk about it. Tell people a little bit about the man that we talk about so much on this show. Who is Lan Allen?
I'm pretty boring, to be honest with you. Yeah, small town kid raised here in southern Arizona, in the mighty metropolis of Thatcher, Thatcher, Arizona. But my family goes way back. My third great grandfather was the first one to raise the American flag in Tucson, Arizona.
Wow!
As depicted in a statue here downtown in the Presidio.
Holy
yeah, he came through with the army and was met with merchants and everything here, and was raised the flag and was credited with that. So we are long standing Arizona residents.
Oh, all right. Yeah, very cool. Now, let's talk a little bit about the dentistry thing, because we're going to talk more about that as well. How did Lan the Man get into and how did you become so good that I could go into something shredding the championship package and falling asleep during the championship package?
Yeah, so actually, dentistry has a weave there with the University of Arizona and the other school that I went to, the University of Louisville. When I went to Louisville for dental school, first of all, step back. My father-in-law is a dentist, and when I was engaged to my wife, and I tossed around a lot of different programs, and I was considering engineering until I realized there was way too much math involved.
Yeah,
and so that statistics basically got me out of engineering, which everybody should be very grateful for. So went to the University of Arizona, was there during some of the best years of basketball, freshman year of Jason Gardner and Gilbert Arenas, and just a few things.
Your freshman year would have been 99?
Yep. And then I left, I finished, got accepted to the University of Louisville in 2001. So I went there, and then I was there for the first 4 years of Rick Pitino coming into the University of Louisville. So
all right,
and came back here to Tucson. First went up to Phoenix for a few months and realized no way I want to do this, and was really excited to get back to Tucson.
Well, I'm glad that you're back here, Lan. It's awesome. Everybody check out Aris Dental. My mom is a big fan. Cody's family is going there as well, as are Sheer. It is a family thing. So yeah, check it out. Aris Dental. We'll be talking about that more as the show goes on. But Lan, right now, Arizona sports. See, you were talking about it. You went there. You went to the U of A at the right time, obviously. This isn't an all-time high, not an all-time high, but man, Arizona's got the number one team in the country in basketball. We're obviously a football school as well, as everybody knows. Top 20.
Obviously.
Top 20, coming off a College World Series. I'm going to be honest with you. I had no idea that this all-around season was coming for us, Lan.
It's fantastic. This athletic department has so much momentum right now. It is something that I think is super important. And, Tommy Lloyd, when he talks about doing stuff for the city of Tucson and just being all in. He wants success for the University of Arizona, for the basketball team, because it's success for the University of Arizona.
Right.
And then it's success for Tucson. And when he says that, it is not an act. That he is one of the most genuine guys you will ever meet. And I think that kind of comes from his underdog kind of mentality of where he came from, the ranks that he came through. And I think he sees Tucson as that underdog, and the whole. I think that's what gels this athletic department. It's easy to get behind.
Right. And the thing about it too is that, and I think you hit the nail on the head, plus Lan travels with the team from time to time as well. Nice.
Yeah, I think a lot of that changed when the budgets changed, but for the athletic department, there's there's not been a whole lot of, hey, we're taking a trip and you're invited in that last little bit. But yeah, well, it's fun.
You've been on a bunch of them, though. The thing that I like about Tommy Lloyd, though, and I think this is kind of what you were talking about as well, he's a normal dude. And I think
totally normal.
And I think that's why he is so good for Tucson. And I think that's where I think that's kind of where I look at this as well, is that if he goes to a place like Kentucky or North Carolina or something, you can't go to Bob Dobbs and have some food or something, or, whatever. People are going to be, they're going to either be critiquing you, they're going to be harassing you. He can kind of do what he wants. And I mean, now granted, people are going to see him, they're going to know who he is, but Tucson is kind of the best of both things for him, in that it's not this massive fishbowl that he's in, but at the same time, he can also win a championship, though, as well. I think that championship package, baby. But that's kind of where that's why I think it's just such a good fit for him.
It is, and you can tell he's all in. He's not looking like a lot of people looking for an out, looking for the next best thing. He truly thinks that he can win here, right. And he's committed to it. It's refreshing to see.
All right, we got the questions coming in hot and heavy for Lan already. Did I hear that right? Lan's great granddad was a Civil War vet.
I guess that is correct. A third great grandfather, yeah.
Oh, all right, interesting. All right,
Battle of the Bulls. All right, they were down. That happened down here.
Oh, I thought you
Battle
said
of the Bulls.
Oh,
Bulls.
Oh, wasn't that the furthest battle west in the Civil War?
Yes, I believe that is accurate.
Okay, now we need to talk about Thatcher here for a second. Here, Thatcher is essentially the UCLA of Arizona high school athletics.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I was thinking a little more current, and I was going to say, don't put that evil on me.
No. We're going back to the golden years. You came up in a dynamic dynasty. Is this fair, Lan Allen?
It's true. I kind of came right at the end of the dynasty, but yeah, Thatcher was pretty dominant in basketball. I think there was like 15 years in a row where we either won the state championship or were in the championship game. Right. I think it was like 12 out of 15 years or something like that. They won the championship. It was crazy. Thatcher was so dominant that they even started, like, the AIA started pushing Thatcher out of normal, like, divisions, and they made us bump up because we were just beating up on everybody.
Beat the snot out of them. You're like, yeah, get out of the way. Yeah, get on the ship or get out of the way. All right. So, all right, Lan, let's talk about last night a little bit. Obviously, Arizona beat the snot out of Abilene Christian. That was, I'll be honest with you, I love watching Arizona athletics. It brings me a great deal of joy, even when they suck, because I still, it's you're here with the good, you're here with the bad. As the great Dennis Walsh always says, if you don't back us when we had 2 wins, don't back us when we have 5. So that's kind of my mantra when it comes to that. But last night was tough, man. You got 15 fouls on this Abilene Christian team in the first 14 minutes, 6 at the under 16 timeout. Lan, I felt like I was working having to watch that game.
It was brutal. It was brutal. And we kind of knew that they were going to go in there and yuck it up. That's their style of play. That was what they were aiming for. And to be fair, it can throw a team like Arizona off. And so I understand why they did it. My son and I were sitting there and going, man, where are they getting people to come in and keep fouling? Because you'd look up and you'd see 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, and then all of a sudden there'd be somebody with 0, and we're like, well, we know what they're doing. They're coming in to foul.
It felt like,
but yeah,
dummies. Like, hey, let's just throw another one out there. And yeah, hey, go get 3 fouls and then go right back to the bench.
It was brutal.
Hey, Alston Allen. So is this the great Lan Allen's son?
This is my son. Yeah, he's a baller. He's a hooper.
All right, I've heard many good things about him. Tell us a little bit about Alston.
He was giving a shout out there to his Aunt Rebecca in the picture of the.
But
Alston's great. Alston, just got back from serving a 2-year mission for our church. He went to Spain. He went to Madrid, Spain, but he was in the southern half of Spain. And there was instantly some connection with Tommy Lloyd when he found out he was going down there. He was like, oh man, that's Malaga and these other places. He says I go there every year.
Are you allowed to visit? Are you allowed to visit when your kids are on a mission?
You could. Most of the time, it's discouraged, and it's not that it's that you can't. You know, you can go and take them out to dinner or something like that. That's perfectly acceptable. It's kind of depends on the local situation, but yeah,
It's a nice excuse to go to Spain, though.
yeah. I wish I would have taken it, but now I'm going to get in trouble because now it'll be on video record. But I think we're planning on going back with Alston here in the first part of next year.
I'll tell you what, Spain is amazing. I my first international trip, I stayed in Barcelona for 9 days. You want to hear a crazy story? So I say a crazy story as I'm about to go on without even asking if you want to hear it or not. But so my friend's girlfriend, she did this thing called Scott's Cheap Flights. And basically what it is for people out there that don't know, what they have is that you might have to fly at a weird time or something and then come back at a weird time. But we got round trip tickets to Spain, to Barcelona for $278.
Oh, wow.
$278. Now, the thing was, you had to be ready to go in like 72 hours and, all that stuff. But pretty cool stuff, though. So I would very much recommend going to Spain. It was a very good time. It was very fun.
Scott's cheap flights. Yeah, I'm going to do it.
Yeah. They don't have quite the championship package, but yeah. So, all right, now let's talk about this team a little bit. I want to get your take. We're going to talk a lot of NIL. All right, I'm going to kind of go player by player here, and I want to get what Lan's seen, what Lan the man from your surgical view. All right, we got a lot of people in this chat that are Krivas haters. Dennis Walsh is right at the front. I don't get it. At this stage in the game, there's an amazing stat out there about Krivas, that Krivas' plus minus is like the best in the country when it comes on the defensive side. And when he's not in the game, Arizona's not as good defensively, obviously. He's averaging like 10-9 or 11-9, and he still gets the same. He gets so many gloves thrown at him. I don't get it. Is it because he's kind of slow? Where does this traction for this criticism come from?
Yeah, and I don't blame anybody. We look at Krivas, and he started slow, but he has come along. But there's that fear, I think, if we go totally all in on Krivas, that we're going to be burned.
Right.
But I go back to I think when I get the kind of the wounds opened up, is every time I see a pass go in and it bounces off the hands, I think of Tarczewski, and immediately, like that guy had bricks for hands, and it took him 4 years to softly catch that ball. And I think everybody looks at it and says, Krivas, do not dribble the ball and go up and dunk that thing. And I think that's the reason I think a lot of us are holding back, is that we're just wanting him to be so much more aggressive, but he's getting there. I will get
what you just described, Lan Allen, the great Lan Allen. You just described Arizona football. Where is that you want to get excited about something, you see something, and then but you don't want to go all in ever historically, because then they're going to win 2 games the next season. That's immediately what I thought of when you're like, you want to believe, but at the same time, you're also kind of like, so
we're hesitant.
Yeah, we're hesitant. But overall, though, Krivas, good. We agree. Fantastic.
Yeah, such a leap. And I think that if he stays around for next year, wow. I think Tommy's got a history of developing big guys, and I think that there's a chance for him to do better if he sticks around one more year.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, a $9.99 super snap. Brett Seeley. First time being able to listen live in months. Keep up the good work, Mike and team. Very much appreciate you, Brett. You are the man. Very much appreciate that super snap. Okay, now, Koa Pete. Listen, there's going to be some games that he's not going to have like 95 points and 15 rebounds or whatever. But I'll just say this, that I think the biggest difference for me in this team from last year to this year, at least in the front court, is, you've got a guy in Koa that if he's around the basket, he's going to dunk the ball. He's going to finish the ball. He's going to be able to make plays. Arizona just didn't have that last year. So it was always bothering me when people are like, well, we lost Carter. We can't replace that or whatever. Well, you're also bringing in other players at other positions as well. So that's kind of, Lan, I felt that was a little undersold. And when you see Koa out there, even when he has a game where he's got 10 and 6, it just looks a lot different than what we saw last year.
It does. And I think that somebody had replied to your Twitter comment, and I thought it was a great point. They said teams it's that Koa is becoming too predictable. But I think that actually that is a testament. What's going to happen is they have to plan around Koa. They have to plan around that pick and roll. And because of that, it's going to open up other things. And so why didn't we take many threes at the beginning of the year? We didn't take many threes because Koa was so dominant and they didn't know how to deal with him and adjust to him yet.
Right.
They're adjusting to him more. That's going to open up. This is for your spacers, right? The spacers are gonna love it here because the focus on Koa is just going to open up that the rest of the game for other people. We're already starting to see it in ADO drives, and Braden Burries is driving more and having a better lane to the basket than he's had all year.
I love how Dennis Walsh has a running betting line going about are these actual relatives of Lan Allen or not. So we have Weston as Lan Allen's more handsome son at plus 600 at this point. Interesting. So, all right.
Weston's a cute kid. So, yeah, he's the number one Arizona fan. He's 12 years old. And
how many kids?
I have 8 kids, 4 boys, 4 girls.
All right.
And before anybody asks, yes, same wife.
Well, so. I would be if it wasn't the same wife. Yeah. Like it's not a Sean Kemp situation or anything like that.
No.
Oh, Ann Allen. We got Ann in here as well. Ann is yeah.
I guess everybody's going to spam the comments today. I should have let them know that I was on, but Ann was on a mission for our church at the same time Alston was, but she was in Bolivia. So yeah, she had a whole third world experience down there, but she and Alston now speak Spanish fluently to each other and keep it secret from all of us.
Did you ever see when Mike Tyson said after a fight that he was going to beat, and he was trying to say I'm going to beat you into oblivion, and he said I'm going to beat you into Bolivia, and it's like
Bolivia. Yeah, I think my daughter would probably agree that there's looks like there's people down there that have been beat into Bolivia by Mike Tyson.
By Mike Tyson, yes, yeah. All right, hey, let's get the Aris Dental read in here. All right, so let's get to some reads. I'm very excited about these reads. Woo-hoo-hoo. What do we got? All right, Lan. All right, Cody, bring it up first. All right. We've got you on record here. We've got you hooked up to the lie detector. This woman in this picture right here, does she share similar DNA to you?
So I've been seeing the betting line going, yes. And from my understanding, I cannot comment and influence a betting line because it will. I don't want to be under any kind of investigation or anything like that. So, just like last night, I think the spread was 34.5 and we won by 34.
Right.
You wouldn't want anybody messing with that line. I'm not, at the advice of my attorneys, I'm not going to mess with the betting line.
Neither confirm nor deny. All
right. I mean, Dennis did this to himself. He's the one that put the betting line on. And so I cannot influence an answer.
Oh gosh, that is that's a great. Dang it, that's a good question right there. I don't even have a comeback to it. But
I'm bound.
The term, the championship package, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Have you seen this other entity that's trying to copy the championship package?
No.
It's on a bus, and there's another dentist office that's basically doing the exact same thing now with the exact same prices, Lan Allen.
Holy cow.
Yeah, well, it's on a bus. I saw it, and I'm not happy.
Yeah.
So there's only
they say it's like the ultimate flattery is copying there. So hey,
imitation
ultimate form of flattery.
Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, but at the same time, though, I am going to say that there is only one Aris Dental. Ask about the 1997 championship package. Show you how cool Lan is. Lan literally followed up with me like 3 weeks after to see if I needed anything, and I was like, Lan, I'm feeling great. It was awesome though, but. It's really cool though. You go in there, everybody's great, and the one in Vail, man, are you in the Vail compound right now?
Yeah, I opened that office in the first banking housing crash. That was awesome. I got really good timing for starting businesses. So
it's amazing. You walk in there though, it's a really cool looking spot. It's It
is cool.
Yeah, my mom is a stickler, and she is very, very impressed. I was impressed, and the championship package. Talk about how the roots and the idea of the championship package took hold for Lan Allen.
Yeah, so obviously, dentistry is expensive. We totally get that. We're aware of that, and I'm a blue collar guy coming from a small town, farming, mining community. And I've just always wanted to make stuff accessible to the public and have them choose the best thing rather than the cheapest thing. And so, I've always thought if I can do quality service for a good fee and make it more accessible to everybody, that's what I want to do. And so I was kind of throwing around. I was trying to beat that 2000 number. And so I think when I'd first talked to you, I was like, I'm going to do it like 1998. And then it hit me like I'm $1 off of the championship year,
right,
of Arizona basketball. So that's where it was bred there. So.
And I think the thing that's amazing about it too is that it's funny. So I'll give you an idea. So when I because my mom's had to have implants before, not those kind of implants, different kind of implant. And my mom's had to have the teeth implants as well. And when I told her about how much it was, the first thing she said to me is she goes, "What's the catch?" Like, because I think she ended up spending like $6,500 or something like that, which is fairly par for the course. And then so I go in there and I get the championship package delivered, and you have a gentle touch, Lan Allen. It was very good work, and I did fall asleep a number of times. This is true.
You did. We were constantly having to tell you to open back up because you were falling asleep. So
well, that's how it is, though. All right, so we don't have any clarification on this woman right here, but we do know that the championship package is fantastic. Check it out. Now, Hal J is asking the question that everybody needs to know. If Arizona wins the national championship, Lan the Man, does this price go up?
It absolutely does. But see, I'm kind of now debating, like, do I do it 2,600 just to honor 26,
I like it.
So I would get it. I would get now because, yeah.
Get in there right now. And again, if I can do it, because I'm a big baby, if I can go through with it and it was perfect, then anybody else can go through with it. It is good. Check it out. Aris Dental, Lan the Man with the master plan, TucsonTeeth.com. All right, what else we got?
Kobe's giving me a hard time for winning, leading to a higher price. Look, I will honor it for anybody that says that they heard it on the chat. So
yeah, there you go, Kobe. And
there you go, Kobe. Take that, Kobe.
And Kobe, you're like 13. Like I don't know that you probably need the championship pack. And yes, you get to keep your tongue. That's the other thing. Yep. It's necessary treatment. You're not going to come in there. You're not going to come out of there with like a forked tongue or anything like that either. It's not going to look like a reptile or something. Okay, now Copal. We're going to have a watch party here. Dennis Walsh, you and your whole posse is expected to show up there. It's going to be a fun time. Elote ribs, free, when you mentioned Mike Luke. Well, I don't know if you just go in there and just get one free rib. But either way, check it out. Mexican food delivered nationwide at mymexicanmenu.com. We are going to be there at 8:30, or it's going to be 8:30 San Diego State. I expect to see everybody in there. It will be a lot of fun. We're going to be pushing this out there. Book your next large party or corporate event with Copal. Boom. Okay.
I wish I could go to that, but my daughter, the senior in high school, is dancing the Nutcracker for the final time. So I will be there.
And listen, as much as I appreciate you wanting to be there, if your daughter is a senior, there are certain things that you do later on. There are certain things that you can't. Lan, your priorities are intact. I appreciate your priorities. Yeah.
Oh, good. We got some pipe stuff coming up. Good.
Yeah. Now, what about the pipe? All right. Now, Lan the Man with the master plan. How's your plumbing working? I mean, actually, you live on basically like 9,000 acres, though.
37, but it's pretty close to 9,000. It feels like sometimes, but yeah, I have miles and miles of irrigation around that. Yeah, I've become a part-time plumber. So I'm glad to know that I can call on Foster because there's stuff that's definitely beyond my pay grade.
The other thing, Lan, 24/7 service, because as you know, it's just like with it's like with emergency stuff, like with a tooth going out, that your tooth doesn't just say, "Hey, 8 to 5, buddy." Otherwise,
never.
Yes. So check it out, though. All right. Now, drain cleaning, sewer inspections, gas, water, name it. 10% off when you mention the AZ12 podcast. Check it out. Okay.
Now, hey, there's some slander being thrown my way. I am not a BYU fan.
I'm a BYU fan. Then I like.
Well, I mean, I can respect and honor what BYU, and I'll tell you what. Best experience I've ever had at a sporting event, both football and basketball. The environment is incredible. It's something that if you had, I mean, I know not a lot of people are looking to go to Provo to go to a game,
Right.
but it is an experience, and it leaves you feeling like, gosh, why can't we do this at Arizona? Why not Arizona?
Yeah, let me ask you this. I'm going to push back on that a little bit, Land the Man. Why can't you have LSU? BYU is a backup team. BYU is one of my backup teams. And here's why I like BYU, and I get beat up in the comments all the time. And no, I'm not LDS. I just respect the people. And on top of that, their fan base is awesome. It is maybe the most enjoyable fan base that I have ever come across. They love their sports. They love BYU, but it's never, and maybe there's a one-off here or there, but it's never vulgar. It's never vile. It's fun back and forth. That is why I like BYU and the BYU fans. So even if you don't want to say that they're your backup team, they're my backup team, Lan Allen.
No, I actually have a daughter who's a graduate from BYU, a daughter that's currently going to BYU, and then some more that will for sure. The tuition is fantastic. Mm-hmm. So it's a great, and it's a fantastic school to send them. But I will say this about BYU fans, and it's pretty well known. It's that although they are passionate about their Cougars and their school and their athletic teams, they're not terribly knowledgeable. So
they're fun.
Yeah, but they're super, super into it, super fantastic. It's a great environment. If you ever get a chance, take an opportunity to go to a game at BYU.
You were at the BYU game that Arizona won last year, right? Yeah, because you sent me a couple of pictures of it. It looked amazing.
Yeah, I was sitting front row, right there. I was talking to Danny Ainge and Steve Kerr. They came and were talking, and it was a really neat experience. They were a fantastic environment.
Yeah, well, either way. So I like BYU is absolutely one of my backup teams. I make no bones about it. So, all right, now, all right, let's get back to this team though a little bit here. Lan, let me ask you this: what is your take? Why is Jaden Bradley not getting the national love that he deserves? I mean, Cody James Martin will send us stuff where he's not viewed as one of the top 10 point guards in the entire country. Come on, or he's not like on all these lists. I do not get how people are still so late to the Jaden Bradley party because he's been an All-American.
Yeah, I think that people view him as the outside non-Arizona fans view him as a guard that's filling the point guard role for Arizona.
Yeah.
And it bugs me to this every time I hear it that he's an Alabama transfer. The guy has been here for 3 years. And he, so I think that, of course, we're just suffering from, it's not east of the Mississippi.
Right. Yeah. But either way, he has been, and what I like watching about
fantastic.
It's like going into Aris Dental. Everything is smooth. Everything is done with a level of maturity. But no, on a serious note, though, you watch him. He is a relaxing figure out there. When he is on the court, he doesn't look sped up. It's not like he's going anywhere. He's not jumping in the air and throwing the ball 25 feet in the air, hoping that, somebody catches it. There is just and I think Cody James Kobe actually makes a good point. I've heard little kids use this before. He's an ethical hooper. He doesn't stat pad in these cupcake games like a lot do. Yes, I would agree. I would agree with that. I would agree with that. I think
that's a great point.
Yeah.
I think it's been mentioned that he's always under control.
Right.
And that's great. A lot of times you see a lot of, there's a lot of erratic kind of behavior when they get in tight. It seems like when everything closes down, Jaden Bradley gets better.
Yeah,
and that's awesome.
And the thing I love about him too is he goes to the free throw line. He's going to make 85% of them. He's big time at the end of games. And what I love about him as well is that he has a flair for the moment. I mean, how many times? Think about that UCLA game. That was one of the worst games that I've seen him play here. Honestly, for the first 35 minutes, then it was like, okay, time to win. And he just takes over, and he's like he's the best player on the court. He, Coach Brad Hawk, the great Brad Hawk. By the way, very good work with Green Valley Decorative Rock, Mr. Hawk. Welcome to the Hawk. Yeah, he doesn't get the respect because he doesn't put up 30 a night with 10 assists. He just makes key plays when needed, and that doesn't always. Yeah, I think there's a lot to that as well. I think there's a lot of that. Land the Man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, Jaden has been a breath of fresh air for the other things that we've had going on with point guards the last few years before this.
You know what it is? It's just nice having a professional. It's just nice having somebody that you're going to be here. You're going to be focused. You're looking to win. That, I don't know. I will never.
You
I will no
know,
longer take that for granted for my point guard.
I was I talked to his dad several years ago. We were at a practice, one of the kind of the first of the year, and some parents and stuff were there.
Mhm.
Which is also where I found out that Conrad is taller than 5'9",
All right,
5'8". He is.
tell it right now. Tell your
He's
story,
he's
Conrad.
he's 5'11". He's
I
legit 5'11", Mike.
I did not believe Lan the Man until he sent me literally a close-up photo of it, and it was like, all right, fine. I was
Yeah.
trying to say he's 5'1", but he's not. Lan the Man is right. He's definitely 5'11".
But JB's dad, he's a really, really fantastic guy. But we were talking to him about JB, and he said he was kind of hinting to the fact that they made a mistake going to Alabama, that they should have. They wanted to come to Arizona, and it was close, and
Right.
and he just said we just should have come here from the beginning. But yeah, he's a fantastic guy.
Yeah, no, yeah, and his father watches the show as well. So yeah, yeah. I wonder if he's in the chat. Well, he's not in the chat, but I know he watches the show. So thanks.
Oh, very good.
Thanks, Papa Bradley. All right, Braden Burries. This is kind of the one. This was kind of the last shoe to fall. Is that the right term? The last shoe to drop, or last
drop?
Yeah. Well, I guess fall makes sense. That's stupid, but whatever. It's the last shoe to drop. And then I think we've known about, listen, we've seen what Jaden can do. We've seen at the small forward position. I mean, it's crazy to say, but I think we know what Yvonne and ADO, et cetera, can do. We know what Koa can do. Braden was the last one that was like, okay, you're not getting nearly what we know we can get out of Braden. Man, Lan, and you've had some good information in the past on, certain stuff. The Braden Burries, this is what I think people thought they were getting. He's been fantastic.
Yeah, this is one of those things where I think he didn't become a bad basketball player overnight. He didn't forget how to play basketball. And so you can go back to his high school AAU time. The guy's been a winner. He's been a proven winner again at the highest competition. It just was going to take, everyone's talked about it, some confidence. And I love what he said about, Tommy told him he just needed to play faster.
Right.
He needed to, and that, and I think he even said, like, look, I thought I was playing fast, but that was high school speed.
Right.
And, he kind of had to pick up. One thing I have noticed is he seems just still a step behind. He's a reactionary player on defense,
right?
Rather than anticipating stuff. And so I think that will come. And the same problem with Delhi, but you'll probably get to that.
Oh, you're getting cheap shots at Delhi already.
No, I love Delhi. I'm an ADO lover.
I know. Yeah, but Braden, keep doing what you're doing right now.
Absolutely fantastic. It's going to be so fun to watch him just get better through the year, because we know it's going to happen.
And you know what's cool about it too, and you've been around the team a little bit. They all just look like good dudes. Like, they all just look like, there's never somebody that's always scowling or or swearing at the other teams or anything like that. Like, they just conduct themselves in a pretty, in a good way.
Yeah. So one of the cool things that going back a couple years ago, I was in an NIL collective with Tommy and some people. And one of the things that Tommy got up there and committed to all of us was that, like, look, we're not going to bring turds in here. It's basically what he said. He's like, we're going to bring in good, respectful people that are professional. We're not going to be having problems. And so I think if you see players leave, that you can look back on some of the ones that have left. They haven't lived up to that expectation for Tommy, and it's a better fit, when they're somewhere else.
I had somebody on the staff tell me this one time, and it kind of feeds into what you were saying. He said, there's been some guys that have been some learning experiences for sure. He said, but one of the things that Tommy tasks us with is finding good kids, because when they get here, we want them to be able to enjoy the college experience. You only get that for 4 years, but we need to have the kind of mature kids that know that, hey, this isn't right. This is what I should be doing, this or that. You can go out and have fun with your friends and everything, but not to get into trouble, not to be doing stuff that is going to look bad on you or the team or whatever. And he said, that's always going to be a little bit of an ongoing, figuring it out. But I feel like he's got it with this year's team. It just doesn't look like there's anybody out there that you're like, all right, you've just got really bad vibes, or all of that stuff. There's really none of that. Oh, by the way, 2 $4.99 super snaps from Dal C2. I met him at the Vasa Fitness today, man. It was awesome coming up. He came up and asked me if I was Mike Luke from AC12. And yeah, really, really cool. Very strong person. And but yes, very much appreciate the 2 super snaps, my friend. That was very, very nice of you.
You'll probably be seeing my son Alston. He goes to Vasa as well, and so since he's here for the for holiday, he'll be at Vasa there. So
give him my number. I can show the young bucks how to work out. Well, not really.
There we go.
Al can see. He can see the weights that I work with and what some other people work with.
But you're jacked. You're jacked. I've seen you.
Yeah, and it is funny. I'll get people that come up to me from time to time, and they're like, "Dude, I thought you'd be like 104 pounds." Or something. And I'm like, I actually like working out a little bit. So, but yeah, Dal, very much appreciate you, my friend. That was very nice meeting you. All right. But like I said, it's just a good guys, a good group of characters. And I think that's a good way about it. Let's talk Delhi. Now,
real quick to respond to Dennis. He said Tommy didn't seem to care when Krisa was rocking the baby after going 111. Krisa left.
Yeah.
So
and you know what? A lot of this too is, I've always felt that Tommy learns from his mistakes. I don't want to say mistakes, but he is. Muehlbach has said this a million times, so I don't think I'm stealing. Muehlbach said, that guy, what does that guy know? He said, Tommy is a very reflective person. He's not, now listen, he's not going to sit there and just berate you during a game or maybe even during the season. But when the season is over, he's going to take inventory of what needs to be done, who needs to be prioritized, this, that, or the other. He did just that with Kerr Krisa. Well, basically, hey, we wish you nothing but the best. This probably isn't a good fit. He did the exact same thing with Kylan Boswell. Again, wish you the best. Probably just not a good fit. And, somebody with like KJ as well. I don't, it's not to that, but I think, there was we got some different goals, some different priorities. Wish you nothing but the best. Just not a great fit. So I'm going to push. I disagree with Dennis a little bit on that, and that he's shown that he can really, for the betterment of the program after the season, he can make some difficult choices. Totally agree.
That's like I said, you can say that, but he's also, Kerr transferred. So yeah. I think that isn't strictly on Kerr. That is the team is Tommy doesn't, he's not as passive as people would think.
Yeah. And Tommy also has I think people have this view of Tommy that he's this, and you could speak to this. I mean, you've been behind the scenes, that he's this, shucks, let's have fun and just eat orange slices. And who cares if we win or not? Tommy's a competitor. Tommy at his heart is a competitor, Lan.
Yeah. At the beginning of last year, so last year's team, I went to a practice at the beginning of the year, and it was a different Tommy than I had seen. He was really, really laying into the guys, and it's private, it's in practice. That's where that stuff's supposed to happen. Mm-hmm. But it was different than what I'd seen. And I was kind of mentioning it to Volpe, or I don't know, might have even text Shear or something like that. But they said, yeah, I think he's, Tommy's feeling the pressure, and he's recognizing that he can't let someone like Kerr, get away with those things, and Boswell get away with those things. So he changed.
It's kind of because it becomes contagious then at that point too, where if one player is allowed to kind of just do whatever they want and, this or that, then somebody, these are still 19, 20-year-old kids, are going to say, well, why can't I do that then, or whatever. So if you've got guys that self-police themselves, and I think that's why it's really important to have somebody like a Jaden Bradley that is a leader of the team that goes about doing things the right way. Now, let's get a couple reads in here. I want to talk about ADO. We're going to talk about NIL as well with Lan, the man with the master plan. Okay, let's get a couple reads in here. What do we got, Cody? Oh, all right. Now, Baggins. All right. Now, Dennis Walsh was there earlier today with his friend Kai. Yes, 12 Arizona locations, locally owned and operated. All food made in-house daily. Every sandwich comes with a chocolate chip cookie. Use code AZ12 for 15% off. Yes, free delivery with code free ride. Lan Allen, do you like Baggins?
Yeah, the turkey bacon avocado. It's fantastic.
Yes, yes. Check it out. Baggins, get the bag, baby. Gourmet sandwiches. Yummy, yummy in my tummy. Okay.
I asked for the Dennis Walsh special, and they literally asked me to leave the premises.
And you know what? I'd probably go to another one after that. I'm like, yeah. Now, I am going to endorse Lan the Man with the Master Plan. I will never endorse Andre Veras under any circumstances. I will endorse Andre the person, and I will highly recommend what Andre does, but there will be no endorsement. We run a very tight ship around here. Now, did you recently change jobs? Let's talk you through your... Sorry, sometimes it gets hard. Yeah, let's talk you through your old 401k and learn more about your new retirement plan. Trying to balance your retirement with your kids' saving fund? Check it out. Give Andre a call at 520-325-3456. If you make a lot of money and you're thinking to yourself, man, I'd really like to spend like $20,000 on AZ12 merch, but I don't know how to prioritize my spending. Andre can help you with that. Now, listen, if you're going to spend $20,000 on our merch, I think that you need a lot more help than Andre. But it would be much appreciated. I'll put it to you like that. Check it out. Longview, baby. All right. Now, we got a read coming up here. Oh, it'll be in the next group. All right. Now, Lan the Man, how is your, I was going to say, how's your heater out there how's your heater out there in the Western White House or whatever?
Far East Tucson. Far East Tucson is where we're at. No, actually, I need a heater more than anybody. I have my temperature drops big time. So yeah, I'm out in a river bottom, kind of a wash bottom, and it gets super cold. So yeah, if it doesn't work, I know who to call. Now I have a son-in-law who's an HVAC, but he's up in Phoenix, and can you really trust your son-in-law to
No. Yeah. That's why you go through Danny Foster. 10% off when you mention the AZ, or not Danny Foster.
Not Danny Foster.
Yeah, Matt, sorry, Comfort X HVAC. Yeah, I apologize on that. And Cody, you have a story about Comfort X HVAC.
Yeah, they came right out when I had issues, and everything worked out pretty well. They saved me lots of money, and everything worked out great.
And our good pal Tony Gimino, they saved him about $2,000. Check it out. They got all kinds of good stuff. Okay. Now, we're going to get into NIL and all that stuff in a second, but I want to talk ADO.
Mike, before you do that, I sent you a text. We do have some mild breaking news out of ASU. Raleek Brown going pro.
Oh,
interesting.
They're not even going to be able to field a team next year.
Field a team then? Interesting. Oh yeah. Well, yeah. That's a bummer. That's a bummer. Raleek Brown going pro. Yep. We will find out now. All right. So, ADO. ADO's caught a lot of arrows in this. A lot of mean people with ADO. I am not one of them. I've always stuck with ADO. You're an ADO guy as well. Tell us about the marvel that is ADO.
When my son got home from his mission in Spain, it was last February. Took him to a game. Was super excited, and so he wasn't able to really follow the team for that year. But he sees him and he said, tell me about this guy. So he's Australian. We started going through it, and he said, the guy's a hooper. He's a hooper. Right. And so we saw his struggles and everything, but same thing. My son Alston was just like, Dad, I can tell a hooper, and he's definitely got it. Last night was an interesting thing where he had like 6 turnovers, and I think like 4 were in a row or something like that.
Weird. Like you generally don't see him do that.
Yeah, he went straight to the bench, and Tommy was like, he kind of followed him and was like, hey, dude, let's work this out. But then he got subbed out after that. I was writing a timeout. But I think that once Tommy preaches something at practice that I always hope that ADO will pay more attention to, and that's that, do what you do well, make that elite. Yes. And I think that Delhi is a better catch and shoot guy than he is off the dribble. And I wish, and I know that they're running him off the line and not really able to let him get set up. But if he can get to that point where he does what he does very well, he can make it elite.
It's weird. Like, I always thought this about KJ, and I like KJ more than a lot of guys do. I thought he served a role for Arizona. I have no. I wish KJ, Henry, and KJ. I wish nothing but the best. It is. Everybody's got to make their own decisions. But the one thing that always annoyed me about KJ was KJ had some really good skills that he was given. He was a good athlete. He's very tough. He's physical, a good defender. He could finish around the hoop. He could get into the line. But he always felt like he was trying to do stuff that he just couldn't do, or that he wasn't blessed with. Whereas,
he felt a little more out of control.
Right, exactly. Like it felt like he was trying to, like there was like somebody told him, "Hey, dude, you're basically Kobe Bryant or something," and he's trying to come down. He's not a great ball handler. He's trying to come by and like cross people up and shoot threes. That ain't your game, dude. You've been given a lot of skills that those just aren't some of them. And I very much appreciate seeing players that do what they were blessed to do with. Tobe Awaka is another one. You're not going to see Tobe Awaka saying, "Man, I want to dribble the ball up the court and initiate the offense." He knows he's in there to be able to cause girthquakes, to get rebounds, to finish around the hoop, things like that. I like players that know where they are at in their development there, Lan the Man.
Yeah, I feel a little bad for ADO because other teams they scout too. They're good at scouting, and so they pick on him defensively. You'll watch a lot of times ADO's out guarding somebody on the wing, and they'll run their players through 2-3 screens across the baseline, getting them an open look, and Delly's always trailing behind, and that's when you get that open three that you're always cringing about, Mike. And so that tip your hat to them. They're using that, and he seems just a step behind. He's reactionary on defense rather than anticipating where a player's going to cut, where a player's going to go. There's the real good guys, and they get a sense that there's a screen coming, and they have a plan for each one. Are they going through the screens? Or are they going above or below the screens? They know those things, and so Delly just needs to get just a little faster at making those processings.
All right, now people asking me about Caleb Holt, the top shooting guard in the entire country. I know I've said I'll believe it when I see it. Well, I think we might be seeing it. This is just my guess, but I do believe that he probably comes to the University of Arizona. Yes, sign me up for him. And if you got anybody else that plays like you, bring them here as well. We'll take them as well. Yes. It's like, hey, you got any other friends? So there's that. Now, let's talk a little bit about NIL here in the grand scheme of things, Lan the Man, because you got some ideas. First of all, here's where I stand on NIL. I like that the players get paid. This is ridiculous, though, in that, everybody's getting like $10 billion and you're just hopping from, school to school. That, to me, was not really what it was meant to be. I have no problem paying. I think there needs to be a cap on what these guys are getting. But in the theory of it, I don't really have a massive problem with it. The thing that does stink, though, and it doesn't really matter in basketball because you only got 12 or 15 scholarship spots. So a school like Arizona is going to be able to get who they need. A school like North Carolina or Duke, you don't have to be in one of the two major conferences. If you're not in the Big Ten or the SEC in college football, you can't win a championship outside of being Texas Tech, probably. You just don't have the money. That, to me, is that's kind of a bummer, and I think that's probably why Dilly's going to leave at the end of the day, because I just don't think you can do it. Where do you stand with NIL? And then let's talk about, we'll work it backwards from there.
Yeah, well, I love the concept of NIL because I do think that these players deserve to benefit from their name, image, and likeness, what it is truly meant to be. That being said, when those floodgates first opened up, Tommy and the basketball department, they all call it the Wild West,
right,
of the times, and because there weren't any guardrails, there weren't any kind of expectations of what was going on. I was we're at a meeting where they're throwing this around for the first time to set up a collective, and we were in
right.
If it had happened a year earlier, it would have been so bad and so illegal, but we're like literally in the back room of a restaurant, and the athletic director's there, the school's lawyers are there, and we started talking about collecting money to pay players, and Tommy was like, "This is just, I'm sorry, this is still just the weirdest thing ever," and he's looking over at the attorney like, "Are you sure we can say this?"
Yeah,
and he's like, "Yep, free, go ahead."
It's like the wild, wild west where like you find out that
Yeah.
like revolvers don't have to be checked in at the saloon. You can like bring them to the gambling table with you. And it's like,
Yeah.
what's going on here?
And with those first couple of years, the way they viewed it is like, look, we're just going to try to get through until there's some guardrail set up. And then they were kind of told with the NCAA settlement that there was going to be some guardrails set up. And so then it was like, okay, now we know what we're looking forward to. We know what the parameters are going to be. And, those went into effect, in July, August, but because the legislation has kind of lagged behind, there's, you really could go in and sue because there's no legislation behind it. There's just kind of agreements and probably win. So where I think the athletic department, and I think every athletic department, not just the University of Arizona, was really looking forward to this August 1st, kind of July deadline where they could at least kind of have a cap on stuff. And it's unsustainable the way that it's going,
right?
And I think everybody kind of feels that. But it's here to stay. I know there's been rumors out there about repeal. It's here to stay, but there hopefully is going to be some legislation where it makes it a little more even. What I look forward to, along with everybody else, is that basically, if everyone sticks to the framework that's out there, the $20.5 million across the entire athletic department,
right?
What you're going to find is you're going to find a lot more people choosing to go to a school,
yes,
rather than choosing to go where a paycheck is.
You can still get compensated in that. That's the other thing. If you stay with the hard cap, you can get compensated. You can be paid well. You can get paid well. And it's not just this thing where it's a race to the a race to the bottom. I'll give you a perfect example, though. Like I said, I think I'll use Dilly again. I don't believe in Dilly's heart of hearts he's ever wanted to leave ASU. I do believe that was Dilly's dream job. I believe that Dilly wanted to be the Lute Olson of ASU. I know you had Frank Kush, but I'm not talking about stuff in the 60s, whatever. But if you can't compete at the highest level, especially in your conference from a money spending perspective, and you're a driven, it's like this, Lan. It's like you want to be, and tell me if I'm an idiot here, I could be. It's like if you want to be a dentist and you want to be able to provide the best care at the most reasonable price that you have. But you have somebody over you that's basically saying, well, we're not going to give you this, or we're not going to give you this. And then you look at your buddy down the road who is saying the same thing, and he's got all of that. Like, sooner or later, you've also got to make a decision like, well, are I kind of limited under this construction by what I want to do? I want to be able to provide the best service at the cheapest or at the best rates. But at the same time, if I don't have, if I can't do it, and I don't know, I'm not explaining it perfectly.
No, what I see what you're saying. Like, if there's this fantastic office with all the technology and everything that you need, to provide all that care to the best of your ability, and then you're sitting in this little small office with outdated, antiquated equipment, without all the technology, you're like, well, of course I would like to practice in this other environment where all of these tools are at my fingertips. I totally get Deli's, desire to have that, and I think ultimately at the end of the day, this is a big game of chicken.
Yeah,
with who's going to give first,
right?
Who's going to duck and turn, and what is it, ASU or is it Deli? Dilly. They're going to. I think ultimately he will stay, but I think he's also committed to staying and making ASU veer instead of him.
Yeah, I mean, but here's what I'll say. It's also nice not having to go through an off season where we have to worry about somebody leaving the program or something like that. We have stability here. And we're going to talk a little bit of football as well with Lan the Man with the master plan. But let's get a couple more reads in here. This is going to be big. This is probably one of the most I've been looking forward to this read more so than anything. Cody, we'll see how well you know. All right. Yes. Welcome to the Rock. You're up, Lan. Yeah, Lan. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's awesome. I can barely hear you. Do it again, though, Lan. Do it one. We can barely hear you.
Any better?
Yeah, we still couldn't hear you though. Ah.
Oh, you're probably better off that way.
He's trying. Yeah. All right. Well, either way, I'll do it for Lan. It's like I'm throwing out.
You might.
It's like I'm throwing out an old filling right there. Okay, now, 2 convenient locations, Tucson plus Green Valley. Now, there might be some people, the earbuds block the rock. Yeah, maybe that was actually good. All right, 2 convenient locations. Now, there are some people, excuse me, wow, now I'm going to lose my voice. There are some people out there that believe the Green Valley Decorative Rock is only in Green Valley. Ignore them. Ignore them. They are wrong. They know nothing. It is also in Tucson. 50 plus locally sourced landscaping materials. Now, Coach Brad Hawks used this before. We put it out on Twitter. Very much appreciate Brad Hawk, the great Brad Hawk. I'm starting to believe Kobe. I thought he was full of it last night. Yes. East of Benson, Sierra Vista, west of Marana, south of Nogales, north to Oracle. Check it out. Boom. Yeah, Brad Hawk is big. All right, now Jesse's Tattoo Shop. Now, people ask me, Mike, do you have tattoos? No, not a tattoo guy, but I know good work when I see it. This is good work. I've gone in there many, many times, and Jesse is the man. The great thing about it, too, is it's like walking into Lan's place that, it's professionals in there. There's not like there's not like a fish tank with like one, those like dojo things that would like suck on the algae or whatever. There's none of those that are just like propped up somewhere. That's there's none of that. It's great. Now, here's the other thing though. They do all kinds of good work though. They do fine line, they do dark, they do all kinds of stuff, and they got 11 different people in there as well. And that work because again, it's not one of these fly-by-night spots. Plus, Jesse does a great job. His tattoos, plus his tattoo supply shop. Tucson, Arizona. Google reviews July 2025. Top 3. Jesse is the man. And again, they only offer necessary tattoos as well. They're not going to like rip your they're not going to like, tattoo your back and then take part of your skin off or something. They're not going to do any of that. Okay, now, the Tucson Family Food Project. We love Cheryl on this show. Currently, 255 meal kits per week. 2026 goal is a 1,000 meal kits per week. Donations made with AZ12 will be matched cumulative up to $10,000. Boom. Check it out.
You know how cool Cheryl is? We used to sit right behind Cheryl over several years ago. Behind the team bench there in that section, Cheryl was right in front of us, and my son, my youngest son Weston, super big fan. He would always scream during the opponent's free throws. You've probably heard him if you've been at U of A. It's this blood curdling scream, and the people around were kind of annoyed, and they were always like getting mad at him a little bit. Some of our fans, and I was like, dude, when it's happening. Right. Like you can plug your ears. Like he's this little 9-10-year-old. I'm going to let him be a fan.
Yes.
And Cheryl was directly in front of my son, and she would turn around and say, "Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Be louder." She's awesome.
There's some people that you come across in life that are just like too nice to be true. Cheryl's one of those people. She is awesome, and she backs the A like no other. Very, very much appreciate Cheryl. She does great work. Okay, just like Lan the Man. All right, now. Lan the Man. Arizona football. This was one of the most surprising seasons that I've ever come across with the Wildcats. I thought going into the year, like I said, win 6 games, don't embarrass me. That's all I wanted. It entertained me. They did a lot more than that, Lan. They won 9. They might win 10. And it looks like, unlike last year, it looks like there's a plan on both sides of the football. I can't give Brent Brennan enough credit for what he's done.
Yeah, I think the cool thing is that the team seemed to kind of take on that persona is that the Brett Brennan has, and that's I want to be here.
Right.
And the team took that on as well. And so, one of the things they I think they teach in like special operators and stuff like that is that, you're not a lot of those people are as patriotic as you think, right? Like we're doing this for the flag. They're doing it for the guy next to them.
Right.
And I think that what you saw this year were guys that again were counted out, were discounted, and had a purpose because they wanted to fight for the guy next to him, and I think they appreciated the stability of that Brett Brennan has brought. I'm with you. Is he the long-term solution? Could he be a little bit more exciting or something? Without being as corny and sure. but at the same time, you can't take away that I think he wants to be here, and that's a stability that I think that it's the reason fans are so unwilling to go all in on football.
Yeah, because again, we've seen it though. Like I said, I always say this after the Fiesta Bowl, you're on the cover of Sports Illustrated. I got mine right there. You go 8-4 next year. This following year, you're like ranked 25th, but that was not what anybody was expecting. 1998, Penn State still resonates.
That hurts still.
That one still, then Rich Rod was never really able to build on what he was able to do off that Fiesta Bowl team. And then, Jed leaves, obviously, and last year's a disaster. So I think that's kind of, like I said, I think it's just everybody's just waiting for the next shoe to drop. Here's where I'm at, though, when it comes to Arizona football. Everybody, if you have a good season, just enjoy it. Don't look ahead towards next year. Don't say, oh, well, we should have beaten them or should have beaten that. We know that these moments with football can be very fleeting. And so let's just enjoy this. Let's just enjoy this year.
Absolutely. The reason that I go to the games is that, several years ago, somebody that I knew really well, I watched, one of the things that he loved was U of A basketball. And he always had a difficulty in a relationship with his son. But one of the things that I noticed is that he never, when it came to Arizona sports, and specifically Arizona basketball, but Arizona sports, they could put aside their differences,
right,
and be all in on this discussion of Arizona sports. And I started looking ahead at that, going, I've got these kids, and I want to be able to have, just in case they don't want to talk to me, we have a problem in our relationship. I want to be able to have something that I can always talk about and go back with them. And so I looked at it and said, I'm in Tucson. The best thing I could do is just go to the University of Arizona games. And I started doing that. And it's become one of the greatest things that I've done with my kids. And, when my kids are gone and they're not, close enough to come home, yeah, I probably won't go to as many games, not because, don't back the A, but, I am a busy guy. But I love the opportunity to go to games with my kids, and I think that that's why you go all in. You try to do something that creates some sort of history and stuff with your family and memories.
And that's why sports is so cool. And this is also too where and again, like I said, I love the banter back and forth on Twitter with fan bases. I think it's great. But the one thing I'm going to say this though. I have never gone to, if my team loses, I'm not going to go to bed crying, or I'm not going to go to bed and, and I'm not putting people down that do this. I'm just, or I'm not going to spend the next 8 days feeling sorry for myself. I'll be a little bummed for sure, but it's still sports, because guess what? Next year's going to be here, and it was an enjoyment. I don't go into a football season expecting Arizona football to win a national championship. I don't go into a basketball season expecting Arizona to win a national championship. I just want to enjoy the ride. And even last year, as bad as Arizona football was, there was still something about being able to just joke around and saying, you know what, Lan, this is all just a minor setback for a major comeback. I mean, if your team sucks, you could still have fun with it. Like that's where sports, and I think people have lost it to a certain degree, that it's fun to poke fun at your buddies and saying after that, that their team lost, hey, did you see that ASU score? This or that. But guess what? If you're going to lose friendships over it, or, things like, dude, you're not doing this right. That is why sports is such a great release from society that, and like you said, it is a great way to bond with your kids. Like I always wish that, I love my father to pieces, not putting him down at all. My dad has no interest in sports. So I had to basically find it kind of organically the way it is. I always wish that there was, I was always a little, and again, I love my dad. I lacked for nothing growing up. I wouldn't be anywhere without him, but I was always a little envious of the fathers that, were really invested in their, the games with their kids and stuff, because I always I wanted that to a certain degree. But you're right though. It really just is it's just a great bonding experience. It's a great escape from real life. You got stuff going on with family or health or whatever. There's something nice about being able to watch your team for a couple hours. And even if they win, lose, guess what? I'm invested. That's the best idea.
Yeah. And like it's something that like at the end of the day, it's sports, like you said.
Right.
And so you can have a release from all of the stuff that's going on, even if it turns out bad. I mean, I was at the 2016 World Series with my sons, and we lost. Still a fantastic experience that we talked about. I was at the Boise State Fiesta Bowl,
right?
With my sons that we lost. Yeah. And I can go down the line of all of these losses that I've attended, and I might even be outing myself as the major jinx. I think I'm going to go to like a triathlon event next year just so I can watch a national championship and feel like I've got rid of the curse.
Well, right.
For the University of Arizona.
And that's why, again, too, skip politics and religion, just talk sports. I don't care who people vote for. I don't care who you believe in. Have fun. Do what you think is best. I just want to talk sports. That's my mantra. Nor do I care who you vote for or who you believe in, because it's none of my business. I don't care.
And you're not going to change anybody's opinion.
Lan, guess what? You just like anybody else. Everybody's got their set of beliefs at some point. Guess what? Yeah. Nobody wants to hear Mike Luke say, "Oh, you really vote that way? How do you vote that way?" Well, guess what? Their life experience is different than my life experience.
Yeah. Just at the end of the day, if your political beliefs change, it's because something that you experienced, right? It's not because of what somebody said. It's because of something you experienced. All of that is true, and so. I don't really care what anybody's politics are. I don't care what their orientation is. I don't care anything, because at the end of the day, I got enough problems dealing with Lan Allen's issues.
I mean, heck, you got the 37 acres and the 8 kids to keep an eye on, along with the missus.
Yeah, I just disappear somewhere in the bush back there and, mow some grass.
Right. All right. Now, everybody, go to a Little Caesars, by the way. Code 1099 bundle, classic pepperoni or cheese pizza. Yes. Crazy combo with pizza with the purchase, or code LCFREECC. That is Lan's master plan. That's the key to a happy life. I like that. Very good work there, Dennis Walsh. Lan, you have been amazing, dude. You've been very, very good. This has been a lot of fun. We should do this again soon, Lan the Man with Master Plan. I know you got to.
Yeah. Well, I wish it was actually, that was happening tomorrow, because tonight I'm attending a little mixer with Tommy, and there's a Hall of Famer. I don't know if I can actually say who's in town but yeah. Well, that's a good point. So I got invited to a little mixer tonight with Tommy and Steve Kerr, and so it'd be fun.
You want to make a little room in your schedule on Friday to hop on with me and Sheer, talk about it?
That, or I can just text you if there's anything. I hope there'll probably be an NIL update or something like that. Who knows?
All right, Lan, you are awesome, though. Very much appreciate this. Everybody, Aris Dental, get that championship package, man. Again, people can copy it, but there will never be the original. This is the original right here. Lan the Man with the Master Plan. Also, UCLA, ASU tonight. Can both teams lose? But Lan, you're a treasure, my man. I appreciate you, buddy, and we'll definitely talk with you soon.
Hey, everybody, go out and buy tickets. Hey, I got an offer.
What's up?
If there is somebody in the chat that heard what I said about attending games, I will buy 2 season tickets for football for somebody in the AZ12 family, so that they can attend football season next year.
Yeah, absolutely.
You let me know, Mike, who that is. We'll let them DM you or whatever. But I will buy 2 season tickets for football next season for somebody in the AZ12 family.
Everybody message me right now. The first one that messages me gets those tickets, and I'll pass it along to Lan. Yeah, Lan the Man with the Master Plan. Maybe that is the master plan. Yes.
Tommy talked about it last night. Everybody thinks that the tickets, it's Arizona basketball, they're not available. That's right. And he talked about, look, there's like a $13 walk up. If there's tickets that are unsold, like you can walk up and buy tickets for $13 to Arizona basketball games. Go out, buy your tickets, support these guys. It's a lot of fun. You're going to create memories with people. But yeah, I would be happy to buy some season tickets for football next year for somebody.
Right. Now, Alston, you need to pass along the number to the young buck there. Well, maybe we'll get a workout session in at Vasa Fitness.
Yeah, I'll do.
Yeah. Okay. Land the man with the master plan. We will talk with you soon. I am merely Mike Luke. Everybody in the comments. Oh, we got the super snaps. Hold on. I got to read the super snaps. Brett Seeley. First time being able to listen live in months. Keep up the good work. Mike and team, very much appreciate you. Now, Down LC2. 2 super snaps. Jim Buddy, nice meeting you today. Yeah, that was awesome. And OC Bodybuilders. Back the championship package. Absolutely. You know how we go around here, OC Bodybuilders. All right. On that note, though, we're signing off. We will be back with you. Land the man. I'm merely Mike Luke. You've been listening to the AZ12 podcast.
Back the A.
Yay, baby.